Andariki namaskaramulo. Today we are going to start a new topic, Mahabharatam. There are some aspects in Mahabharatam which will be discussed today. Today is the first day. We are going to have another 4 days, total 5 days session we will have on Mahabharatam. Traditional values will be discussed in this. We will start with Vande Mataram and then Pradhana. Chala Chitti Babu garu.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Supalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Suprajyosna pulakitayamini pullakusumita drumadala shobini suhasini sumadhura bhashini sukhadam varadam mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram. Now, let us request Hamalata ji to chant Prarthana, please.
Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Let us all meditate in silence for a minute and then chant Omkaram. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanasvadana Srunvannuti Visedasadanam Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajevirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha Gurureva Gatir Gurureva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Gurov Paramam Sisurasmi Guru Matirasti Gurau Mama Pahi Guru Gnananandamayam Devam Nirmalam Spatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Sankaram Loka Sankaram शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमया। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ధన్యవాదాలు.
ధన్యవాదములండి హేమలత గారు. చాలా బాగా పాడారు, అతి ఉత్తమం.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
I will introduce Karanam Nagaraja Rao garu. 1 minute. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce briefly the profile of Dr. Karanam Nagaraja Rao garu. Professor Karanam Nagaraja Rao garu has worked as an officer both in government and in private sectors for almost 30 years and worked as a professor in a few universities for 10 years. He has completed MA in Political Science, History and Sociology. He has also completed his PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University in Management Science. His other accomplishments include Advanced Diploma in Vedantam from Chinmaya International Foundation, Kovida from Samskruta Bharati, and Yoga Diploma from VSS University. He has also done a course on Gita from Oxford Hindu Studies, Oxford University. He has published nearly 60 articles in peer-reviewed national and international journals. He has 4 published books: Management Insights from Motivational Slokas, Business Ethics and Analysis of Dharma from Mahabharata, Virat Parvam, and Principles and Practices of Risk and Insurance. These books are available in Amazon. Currently, after retirement as a professor, he is engaged in teaching Gita to children in Zoom classes and engaged in writing articles in the blog. His lectures on ethics in Mahabharata in English and stories from Mahabharata for children in Telugu can be viewed in his YouTube channel. So again, It is my privilege to have introduced Karanam Nagaraja Rao garu. I request him. In fact, he has been teaching all the courses, basic courses. Last 3 courses he has taught, and this is the 4th course he is now on. Now I'll request him to start the webinar series, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavignopasantaye Sadasiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to the organizers. So today it is my privilege to come over to this podium and again give a brief introduction about Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a vast subject, very vast subject in the sense that it is difficult to read the book also, difficult to understand the book, and it's a very good book also, good book. Maybe today I will be talking only introduction only I will be speaking. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and next another 2, 3, 4 days, I will be discussing a few aspects of Mahabharata, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and all these things, one after another. Maybe in that fashion, we may be going in that direction. There is a famous shloka. The shloka goes like this: Prataha Dhyuta Prasangena, Madhyahne Stri Prasangataha, Ratro Chora Prasangena, Kalo Gachati Dhimatam. Like that, it is there. It is easy to understand the shloka. Prataha Dhyuta Prasangena. So, early morning, the Dhimatam, the persons who are having intellect or wisdom, they used to get up in the morning. They will be discussing about Dhyutam. Dhyutam means about game of dice, doing some sort of gambling activities, this type of activities they will be discussing in the morning. Madhyahane Stri Prasangataha. In the afternoons after taking lunch, they will be discussing about girls. Ratro Chora Prasangena. In the night, they will be discussing about how to make thieves, how to behave like thieves, how to steal, those type of things they will be discussing. Like that, the Dhimatam, the wise people will be spending their time in that way, in that fashion they will be spending their way. This is how, on the face of it, if we see the shloka, it appears that what is this Dhimatam, Buddhimantas, the people who are having wisdom, knowledge, and all these persons, why these people are spending like this? But the understanding is something different. The internal meaning is something different. Prataha Dhyuta Prasangena, which means early morning when they get up, they will be discussing what is called Mahabharata. Because Mahabharata is a story revolving around the game of dice. Madhyahane Stri Prasangataha. Madhyahane, they will be discussing Sri Ramacharitra, that is Ramayanam, they will be discussing. Ratro Chora Prasangena. Sri Krishna is considered to be the greatest thief, no? In that way. So Chora Prasangena. So in that way, Ratro Chora Prasangena, Kalo Gachati Dhimatam, like that people will be telling. Like that today is also very apt. The organizers have conducted this meeting in the early morning only, and that too we are discussing Dhyuta Prasangam. Dhyuta Prasangam we are discussing. So let us start. What is Dhyuta Prasangam? Dhyuta Prasangam means it is actually a game of dice in which Dharmaraja lost the game, and Kauravas became victorious. And the story, everybody knows the story. So this is how today also we are discussing Mahabharata only we are discussing. Before going into the test, what is the test consisting of? How the test goes? Before that, we have to give a brief introduction about Mahabharata. Why Mahabharata is written actually, when it was written, and what is the structure of Mahabharata. These type of things only we have to understand first, because the basic structure of Mahabharata, how it goes. Mahabharata is considered as an itihasa. Itihasa is a little bit different from the history that what we read today. Because when I was reading my history, they used to tell about Mahabharata is not at all a history. It is actually a mythology, something of that nature. That is because the historians will be writing like that. What the normally traditional people think is that Mahabharata is not. It is also a history. At the same time, it is itihasa. Itihasa means the Sanskrit word itihasa means asa. Like that, it happened like that. So it happened like that means what does it mean? It is there. The people who are there, they are there. Only thing is that recorded evidences are not there. The archaeological evidences may not be there. The literary evidences may not be there. But still, these are the things, these are the people whom people were talking about for the last so many years. Maybe generations together, the Mahabharata story is known to many persons. And in this way, this is called itihasa. Itihasa, why the itihasas are written down? There is a pranalika. That pranalika means there is a strategy or a plan for Vedic scholars. Vedavyasa is the author of this Mahabharata book. No, how we have to consider is that Vedavyasa's pranalika is something different. What he was doing was that initially there was Vedas were there at that time. Vedas were actually they were in skeletal, pell-mell condition. It was there. All those things he organized all the Vedas and divided into 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda. Like that, he has divided all those Vedas. And then those Vedas, he could comprehend that these Vedas can be understood only by people who are having some wisdom, much knowledge, all these things. But how to propagate this Vedic knowledge to the common people? That was his greatest problem. He has compiled Vedas, and he has actually a compilation of Vedas. He has done it. No, compilation of Vedas and division of Vedas into 4 aspects that he has done. But thing is that he could see that these Vedas can be understood only few people only can understand Vedas. Even now also same position is there. Then how to propagate these Vedas to the common people? That was the question. So he started writing itihasas. Itihasas means whatever that story that has already happened, whatever things that have happened only, he has taken out that story. That story, he created the story in such a fashion that all those things which are there in Vedas, all dharmas, dharta, kama, moksha, and all these things which are propounded in Vedas and which are not normally understood by the common people, he wanted to elaborate in Mahabharata. So in a way, we can say that Mahabharata is actually a case study for Vedas. A case studies for Vedas. My management theories we will be studying. A case study will be there for understanding a concept. A concept will be there for understanding the concept. If you tell the concept, it is difficult for the student to understand the concept. What they do at the time is that they give an illustration. Illustration will be given, a story will be given, something of that nature. I was teaching entrepreneurship. Thing is that at the time for MBA students, the thing is that at the time we used to teach about our entrepreneur, how he makes money and all these things. Then we will be bringing Adani, Ambani, or somebody of that nature and discuss how he has developed his business and all these things. Here also same thing. How dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and all these things, how they can be actually understood by the common people. It is a case studies. All case studies only. So many akhyanas are there. In Mahabharata, we find at least 1000 and more stories are there, not connected to Mahabharata at all. Mahabharata is a main story, something different. There are upakhyanas, akhyanas, upakhyanas, and all these things. More than 1000 stories are there. We find all these stories. Why these stories are written down? These stories are written down in order to make the people understand the wisdom that is embedded in Vedas. That is how we have to understand it. So here, the pranalika is like that. That is why even people also tell that Vedas are Prabhu Samhitas. Prabhu Samhita means the Prabhu means the king will come and he will order something. Like that it will be there. Vedas will be like that. What it will say one example is that Satyam Vada. If Veda is telling like that. Okay, Satyam Vada. The internal meaning of that entire thing can be comprehended by a few people. That can be understood by the common people only when we elaborate it with a discussion of Harishchandra's story. Harishchandra is there, that person was there, he was speaking truth only. Like that, if you begin to tell his story and then for the sake of truth, how he has sacrificed his life, all these things if you tell, then it will remain imprinted in your mind, and then you can understand the wisdom beneath the Satyam Vada sentence. That is, Prabhu Samhita is Vedas. Mitra Samhitas are what we can call. Mitra is like a friend who is coming there and he will be discussing with you, hey, behave like this. Then we will be doing like that. because it has been told by our close friend. Itihasas and Puranas are Mitra Samhitas, they tell. And then we come across Kavyas. Kavyas are Raghuvamsham or Malavikagnamitram, like that. These are Kavyas. Kavyas are, what are those Kavyas? Kavyas are actually Kanta Samhitam, people tell. Kanta Samhitam means like a friend, like a girlfriend or a boyfriend who is coming there and talking to you something like that and tell you something like that. Then what will happen? It will go very deep into your mind and you wanted to implement that thing. That is called Kanta Samhitas. Like that the people will be telling. Prabhu Samhitas, Mitra Samhitas, Kanta Samhitas, like that people will be telling. Mahabharata will be falling under this Mitra Samhita. So it will be telling like a friend, it will be coming there and will be telling you a lot of stories it will tell. And the story, through stories, it will be propagating dharma, artha, kama, moksha and all these things. It will be telling in an understandable way for the common people. This is the structure of the Vedic structure that is there in any kavya that we can take. Vedopa Brahmanarthaya, like that Valmiki will be written in the Valmiki Ramayana. What he will be telling is that Vedas, Arthas has to be comprehended by the common people. That is why I am writing this way, Ramayanam. Mahabharata is also same thing. Veda Vyasa also tells in somewhere, Adiparva only we come across. For making the people understand Vedas only, I have been writing this Mahabharata. So this is called what we can call, we have to understand like this. So Purva Vruttantam, whatever Purva Vruttantam is that, but Purva Vruttantam, whatever that has happened earlier has been taken out, same story has been taken out. And the same story we have given what we can call, with all these Akhyanas and all these things, it will be made a bigger version. The bigger version is what we can call Mahabharata. In that way, Mahabharata has emerged into the picture. So Veda Vyasa, how he has written this Mahabharata, that also we have to discuss a little way. So Mahabharata was actually Mahabharata, when Veda Vyasa was living, only the Mahabharata was happening at that time. The story of Dharmaraja and Duryodhana and all this story was also happening. Veda Vyasa is both an actor and also a writer of Mahabharata. So when he saw the entire story of war and all these things, he thought that this is a good story to be taken out for making the people understand the Vedic dictums. So he conceived the entire Mahabharata in his mind. When he conceived the entire Mahabharata in his mind, it was so huge, and that has to be, he will be telling it, somebody has to write it. Veda Vyasa is not just a common author. He is a great wise person, and he has conceived the entire thing, and he wanted to convey the entire thing to the people. For that, he wanted to Lekhaka. Lekhaka means a person who has to write it. So then he prayed for Brahma. Brahma appeared before him and told, what do you want? And then he told, I have conceived the entire Mahabharata in my mind, that I wanted to give it to the common people. So there is I wanted a Lekhaka. Then he asked Ganapati, you pray for Ganapati and he will come and he will write it. Then he prayed for Ganapati. Ganapati is a busy person. He came there and he was telling that I am I am always busy because everybody will be calling me all the time. Because for each small starting point also they will be asking, hey, you are a Prathama Guru, like that. So they will be calling me, so I will be going away. So you have to tell fast like that. I will be writing it and you should not stop at any point of time. This is the condition Ganesha has put to Veda Vyasa. You should not stop. Go on telling only. Then what to do? If you stop at any point of time, I will get up and go away. I will write entire thing. So Veda Vyasa told, okay, I will tell like that. But thing is that whatever I tell, you have to understand and you have to write it. That is my condition. You have to understand it. If you don't understand it, you have to stop there. So Ganesha agreed for it. Okay, what is there in it? Like that. Shloka understanding is easy. So what happened is that the narration went on. Veda Vyasa was sitting in one place. In the Himalayas, Veda Vyasa Guha, even now also it is there. Beyond what we can call Gangotri, Yamunotri, we find it. And nobody can approach it also nowadays. Veda Vyasa Guru, people will be telling after reaching Rishikesh and also Madri, Gangotri and also that place. If you go there, then people will be telling there. You go further some distance, you will be finding Veda Vyasa Guha. People will be telling. But very difficult to go. I never ventured because I went up to Gangotri and beyond that it is very difficult. Dense forest will be there. In the dense forest we have to go. Veda Vyasa Guha. In Veda Vyasa Guha, what happened is that in that place, the story was written down. When he was telling that story, the condition was that Ganesha will have to understand it and he has to write it. Okay, it started. When it started, what happened was that it so happened that at some point of time, so Veda Vyasa has to conceive some shlokas and he has to tell it to Ganesha. But Ganesha was writing very fast. So at that point of time, what he thought of a wise decision. The decision was that he used to introduce a very difficult shloka here and there. That is called Grandha Grandhi. Grandha Grandhi means a very difficult shloka he used to put there. Ganesha has to take some minutes or sometimes some hours also to understand or comprehend that particular shloka. Thing is that apparently the meaning is something different. The meaning is something. The internal meaning is some other thing. Sometimes he used to put some Mlecha Bhasha shlokas also he used to put there. Normal people will not understand easily. Ganesha has to ponder over some time in order to understand the shloka, and he will stop for some time and he will be understanding that shloka. By the time Vedavyasa used to put so many shlokas, in that way it went on. So Vedavyasa was also having no problem. Ganesha was also not having any problem. He was also understanding all the shlokas and writing. It went on, and it is said that 3 years they took to complete the entire Mahabharata. Mahabharata was completed. When Mahabharata was completed, how to propagate Mahabharata to the common people, that is a big issue. So this is also from the beginning, maybe even now also publishers will be finding it very difficult to publish their books. After publishing the book, how to propagate the book. So this is all difficult times even then also. So Ramayana also we find the same thing. No, Ramayana was written by Valmiki. When he wrote the entire Valmiki Ramayana, it has to be spread to the people. How he arranged his plan was that he made Lava and Kusha to understand the entire Ramayana first, and he sent them to the fields. They went there and they started singing the Ramayana in the roads everywhere, and ultimately they went up to the king's place, and in the Rama's place also, in this particular place also they sung the Ramayana. They came back like that. It spread like that. And Tulsidas also adopted the same strategy. Ramlila, Delhi place, he used to come there and he used to propagate his entire Tulsidas Ramayana in Ramlila place only. Like that, because people have to come there, people will congregate there, they will be making the bhajans, and then ultimately they will understand it. And it will be spread like that. Yogi Vemana in Telugu, same thing. He was going village after village and he was telling his what is called small poems. Because of that reason, even also Telugu people will be knowing, everybody will be knowing at least one Vemana poem. So here also same thing. Vedavyasa has to propagate the same thing to all people. What he did, he thought how to make it, whom should I tell? Then he told his 4 Shishyas were there. He told the 4 Shishyas, this is Mahabharata, to start spreading all these things. By the time, luckily what happened is that there was one king by name Janamejaya. Who is Janamejaya? Janamejaya, maybe some people, everybody may be knowing it. I need not explain. Janamejaya is actually a progeny of Arjuna. Arjuna was there. Everybody knows Arjuna. Arjuna's son was Parishit. Parishit's son was Janamejaya. Janamejaya was doing Janamejaya was doing the Sarpayagam he was doing. When he was doing Sarpayagam, that story is there, big story is there. When Sarpayagam means he wanted to kill all the serpents that were there at the time. When he was doing the Sarpayaga, one person by name Astika will be coming there and he stops the yajna. At that point of time, he will be telling that Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. Ahimsa is the greatest dharma, like that. Then Janamejaya got some confusion. He is teaching that Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha is telling, okay, then why my grandparents and all those persons fought and they did Himsa, something of that nature. He thought like that. Then he wanted to understand why they did like that. So Vedavyasa came there and he told, okay, the entire story will be told to you. You please listen to it. It is not Himsa, it is Ahimsa only. You will be understanding it at the end of the story, you understand it. Then what he told, no, he took out his greatest disciple Vaishampayana and told him, you teach him Mahabharata. You tell him the entire story of Mahabharata. Janamejaya sat there and he listened to the story of Mahabharata from Vaishampayana. When Vaishampayana was telling all these things, Vaishampayana, whatever he told to this person, what is called Janamejaya, at the time there was some people, some wise people also came, many persons came at the time. One person was a Suta person was came. Suta person was, he is called Romaharshana. Ugrashrava, Ugrashrava, Romaharshana's son is Ugrashrava. There is one person, Ugrashrava. He was there. He, that Suta heard the story. When he heard the story, he came out from that place and he wanted to spread Mahabharata to different other persons. He was searching for actually a good audience. He was searching for the audience, where I can get good audience. He was going like that. At that point of time, he came to reach one point which is called Naimisharanya. Even now also Naimisharanya is there in UP. It is there, Uttar Pradesh. Naimisharanya he reached. And Naimisharanya also you have to understand Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya, why that Naimisharanya is actually is also a significant one. That particular place, the congregation of more than 11,000 Munis, Rishis, and all these persons were there at that point of time doing different what Satra Yajna. Satra Yajna means it is 12 years Yajnam. They were doing that Yajnam. Satra Yajna, they were doing. That place he comes there. He comes there and he wanted to tell Mahabharata and he was waiting for that. Why this Naimisharanya is famous? Because there is a story in Mahabharatam we come across that is also very important and relevant. Thing is that at one point of time, when Kali Yuga has descended and Dwapara Yuga has disappeared, at that particular point of time, the rishis, munis, and the people who are in penance, they're doing tapas and all these persons, they went to Brahma. They went to Brahma and they asked Brahma, Brahmaji, it is Kali Yuga has come. We wanted to do tapas and all this. Still, we are the people of Dwapara Yuga age only. But Kali Yuga has already started. In this Kali Yuga, which place is good for us to do tapas? Which place is good where our minds can stand still? They requested Brahmadeva. Brahmadeva told, okay. Then he created one Manomaya Chakra. Manomaya Chakra he created. One wheel he created with his mind. Wheel has been created. He put the wheel on rolling and he told, wherever this wheel stops, because wherever this nemi means the spoke over this wheel will be there. No, that is called a nemi in Sanskrit. The name that will get cut off, it will fall down. Whichever place it is falling down, there you can go there, like that he told. So the Manomaya Chakra was going like that. It was going on like that. And it came to one place, one big forest it came. In the big forest, it has fallen down. When it has fallen down, the Munis thought that this is the good place for us to meditate. So why that Naimisharanya? This is a symbolic significance is there that also we have to understand. The chakra that has been created by Brahma is a name in that is called Manomaya Chakra. Manomaya Chakra is coming down. It has fallen down there, which means that the manas will be normally, the mind will be always going on to different directions according to Indriya's perceptions. That is what we know. Because I is there, Panchendriyas, Panchakarmendriyas, Panchagnanendriyas, all these things are there. These things will be pulling the mind, they will be giving all inputs to mind. Mind will be going to different directions, it will be going. The mind has to get stop at a particular point of time. That is called the stage where you can have the great dhyana or meditation. So here also same thing happened. So because the Manomaya Chakra has fallen down there means Manas has come to a standstill position in that particular spot. So that is the symbolic significance. In that place, this Suta found what we can call more than 11,000 Munis were there. And the head for actually Shaunaka, one person was there. He is a Kulapati. Kulapati means actually nowadays we call Kulapati as a vice chancellor of a university. So Kulapati in that there is a definition is also there for Kulapati. Kulapati is a person who maintains at least 11,000 students, and he will be having a lot of knowledge and expertise in different directions and different knowledge fields of all these Shastras, Puranas, and all these things. That capacity he was having. That this Suta Pauranika came there. And he met that person and told, I wanted to tell the story of Mahabharata. But that person is a very wise person. He wanted to test whether this person was having the knowledge to tell the story of Mahabharata. Then he told, okay, you tell the Vamsha Charitra of Bhrugu Vamsha, you tell. Because that Suta, that Shaunaka happens to belongs to Bhrugu Vamsha. He asked, okay, you tell about the story of Bhrugu Vamsha. Then this man narrated the story of Bhrugu Vamsha. Bhrugu Vamsha means this entire story of Bhrugu and his lineage and all these things he started telling. Then he was very much pleased by his way of narration and all these things. And then he told, okay, you tell the story of Mahabharata. Then he started telling the story of Mahabharata to the congregation of 11,000 people. Those people will be going there, do the yajnas, and then they come back. When they come back, what they do? They will not idle, they will not chat this way or that way. They will directly come there and sit there and listen to the story of Mahabharata because they wanted to understand what is there in Vedas. That they wanted to comprehend by way of stories. So they came there. Then they asked, then where did you listen? Then he told, I was there in the court of Janamejaya when Vaishampayana was narrating this story. Then I understood the story and I am coming there and I am telling you the story. Because I am blessed, he was telling, I am blessed because I am having the audience. That is also there nowadays. Getting the audience for dharmic cause is also very difficult. That we know. Because if it is Bhagavad Gita and all these things, so when I was trying to understand, out of the way I am telling, Rebel Avadhanlu, one greatest scholar in Andhra Pradesh is there. He is now also he is teaching Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras and all these things. He started Brahma Sutra course. When he started Brahma Sutra course, we were 11 students. 11 students, he started telling, the initial day itself he told, maybe Brahma Sutras are such that by the end of the class, maybe at the end of all classes, maybe I may be finding 1 or 2 students only. Same thing happened. Many people started going down like that. Ultimately, 1 or 2 students are there and he is still teaching Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Maybe in that way, for understanding this Veda, Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana and all this is getting audience is also difficult. Maybe in those days it was not there, maybe, we don't know. But still, he was telling, I am blessed because you are 11,000 students are there for me. And then I am trying to come and understand, telling the story. I am blessed like that. He is also blessed. They are also blessed. And because of this reason, we are also blessed. Because the story has been narrated to these persons. And there is the historian versions are different. We are not very much concerned with historians versions. What people tell is that there is a that also I will tell anyway. People tell that that Grandha Grandhe was telling, the difficult shlokas Veda Vyasa was telling to his Ganapati, he was telling, and Ganapati was writing down. That itself is some 8,800 difficult shlokas are there in Mahabharata. The entire Mahabharata is consisting of 1 lakh shlokas. 1 lakh shlokas means it's a very big one. Very big one means it is 4 times bigger than Ramayana. Ramayana is less than 25,000, not 24,000 shlokas are there. It is 4 times bigger than Ramayana. And then, and if you begin to think Iliad or whatever it may be, Greek literature, if you take into consideration, Odyssey, Iliad and all these things, if you take into consideration, it is 10 times bigger than those two put together. That much big one is Mahabharata. Mahatvat, Bharavatvat iti Bharatam, people tell. Mahatva is also there, Bharavatam, weight also it is there. So both ways, Mahabharata is the greatest one. So in that way, so Mahabharata is a big one. See, this story actually, and where I stopped, somewhere it got cut. We came out. So it is actually, I was telling about this. Hello?
Audience, sir, you were telling about
Telling the audience. So this big story has to be told to the people. No, this audience. Audience was there, and he narrated the entire story. And when he narrated the entire story, the Munis, Rishis, and all these persons heard the entire story, and they started spreading the entire story to different people. Historians version I was telling. Historians used to tell that Mahabharata, when it was told by Veda Vyasa, only 8,800 shlokas only he told, which he named it as Jayam. That is why only we now also we are telling, Jayam Udira Yet, like that. We will be telling Jayam. It is called as Jayam. Subsequently, when Vaishampayana told it the same thing to the Janamejaya, he expanded it to 24,000 shlokas. Bigger one, he called it as Bharatam. Then it got expanded by this Sutta in Naimisharanya, and it got expanded to 1 lakh. Like that, people tell. There are some people, there is no authenticity for this also. But Mahabharata is consisting of 1 lakh shlokas. That is there in many places we come across. So particularly where we come across is that there is Janamejaya Shasana. You can type in Google also and you can search for it. Janamejaya Shasana is there. Janamejaya Shasana is believed to have been written down on a stone. It is still available in Madhya Pradesh, people tell. And Janamejaya Shasanas, 4 more Shasanas are also available in South India, particularly Karnataka. In all the places, Janamejaya has written down that the story happened in, somewhere in 3137 BC, according to whatever that is there, if you can say some 5,000 years from now onwards. And that is how Janamejaya Shasana. And also we come across Aihole Shasana is there. And the second Pulakesi is there. No? We come across in Chalukya's history, we come across second Pulakesi. His Aihole inscription is also very famous. In the Aihole inscription also, it is written down. It is around 500 BC, 520 or 530 BC, 500 AD. There also AD means that is now, present after Christ. 500 AD. In that 500 AD also we come across 523 or 32 something of that nature. There Aihole inscription also we found that there also it is mentioned very clearly that Mahabharata is a story consisting of 1 lakh shlokas. Like that it is written down. Janamejaya Shasanas also it is written down that it is consisting of 1 lakh shlokas. But British historians normally what they are telling is that normally our history, basically from the beginning of our civilization, what we are studying is that most of the places the British people have written our history. The Vincent Smith is the person who wrote our first history, the history of India, that was written by Vincent Smith first. He only invented this Aryan invasion theory and all these things. From where he has taken, we don't know. But here, thing is that the people, they say, particularly these people, historians, are they belonging to Christian sect, maybe Christian religion. According to Bible, the world was created 4004 BC, something of that nature. So normally for people who believed that the earth was created only 5,000 years ago, it would have been a very rude shock that India was having a thriving civilization 5,000 years ago. So that is the reason. At the same time, this Aryan invasion theory was also gaining prominence at the time. So because of this reason, they did not say that these are the valid proofs of Janamejaya Shasana is not a valid one, something of that nature. They are not accepting this one. But there are our people only have to do research over all these things, because we people who study history, archaeology and all these things, they have to study this aspect. They have to do certain sort of activity they have to do, then only we can find some what is whether it is when it happened and all these things. Anyway, these are some inscriptions. Still we are having this. According to this inscription, we find that Mahabharata is a very old story, very old story. Then one more inscription also we come across in somewhere in 533 only. That is called some Maharaja, I think Sharvanatha, Maharaja Sharvanatha. It is also Satna district of Madhya Pradesh. It is there. There also that it is also copper plate inscription. That was a copper plate. The Janamejaya inscription is a stone inscription. But this is what I am mentioning, Maharaja Sharvanatha inscription. It is actually somewhere in 533, 534 CE. That is called after Christ. KHOH place. The place, a village place is KHOH place. That is Satna district of Madhya Pradesh. There also it is described that Mahabharata is a vast book consisting of 1 lakh verses. It is there like that. And this is also some evidences. And you also have evidences of Mahabharata in Panini Sashtadhyayi also we find. Panini Sashtadhyayi is, I think, somebody must have taught you Panini and all these things. Maybe in the previous classes, you might have come across that it is around 4th century BC. 4th century BC means even before what we can call Buddha era, Buddha and Mahavira era. Prior to that, Panini was there. Panini in Ashtadhyayi also has mentioned about Mahabharata. Mahabharata is mentioned. Ashwala and Guhya Sutras are there. No, there also Mahabharata is mentioned. Like that, Mahabharata has been mentioned from the long past. And one more interesting point is that Mahabharata is known to all states of India, not only in India and also some other places nearby. Those at the time it is actually Jambu Dweepam, no, in the Jambu Dweepam, Bharatavarshe, Bharatakanda, entire place. This is called up to Ceylon and also this up to Afghanistan, this Thailand, and all these places. We come across this Vedic civilization was there. People were knowing all these things. They were knowing. Even now, also, if you go to Thailand, the airport is actually we find it a Suvarna Bhumi airport like that. So there also, you go inside. If you go Thailand airport, if we come across that Samudra Mantaram will be there. Now, the big structure is put there at the entrance only. It is there where the one side there are demons are there, one side this side asuras are there, one side suras are there. They will be churning the ocean. That picture has been depicted there only in Thailand airport. Like that, we come across different places. This Vedic civilization was there. In those places also, Mahabharata story is known even now also. Many places Mahabharata story is known. So like that, Mahabharata, if this is not happened, why this entire story has told that is that it is itihasa. If it is not told, it would not have been known to it if it is not happened at that time. And it has a lot of wide, what is called known thing to everybody, that it has come to different people across the country. People were knowing the story in one way or other way. So people, because what happened now, subsequently the entire thing was translated into different regional languages. When regional language it was translated, some perversions happened and people understand Mahabharata in that way only. Anyway, the story is there. That is one aspect of Mahabharata story. And then what we can come across is that Mahabharata Ithihasa we have told. What exactly this is a pranalika of Mahabharata also we have told. This is pranalika of Mahabharata is only to make the common people understand the Vedic dictums. Time is there, no? What is the time? Time is still there. Another 20 minutes is there, no sir? 7:30, no?
Yeah,
No, up to 8 o'clock.
Up to 8 o'clock, fine sir, no problem. So this is Mahabharata structure, please. When Mahabharata structure is like this, and Mahabharata has been told by Veda Vyasa to Ganesha, and Ganesha has written down it, and then it has come to Janamejaya, and through Vaisampayana, and it has come to Vaisampayana. Then Suta has heard it, and he has come there, and he has taught entire thing to the different other people, and subsequently it has spread across the entire India. This is Mahabharata. Mahatvat Bharavatvat iti Bharatam. That also we have to understand. A very big one, very big story. When this is the one, and what is the structure of Mahabharata? Structure of Mahabharata is that it is actually consisting of some 18 parvas. It is there. Mahabharata war, when it happened, war happened in somewhere in 3137 BC. According to many estimates, it is 3137 BC it happened. That is some 3000 years now, another 2000 years. So some 5000 years back, the Mahabharata war took place. When Mahabharata ended, what happened is that after the Niryana of Sri Krishna, what happened? Kali Yuga has started. From Kali Yuga onwards, the Dharmaraja Yuga, what we can call Yudhishthira Yuga, what we tell. From Yudhishthira Yuga ran for many number of years, and subsequently we had having Shaka and also Vikram eras and all these things started. And we have forgotten Yudhishthira era, we have forgotten. Anyway, this is Mahabharata background. When this is the background of Mahabharata, what exactly Mahabharata is consisting of? Mahabharata is consisting of, it is a structure is actually, it is consisting of 18 parvas. 18 parvas means, parva means each thing is a book only. Because 1 lakh stories have to be compiled, no? So it has to be written down in different books, it has been written down. Adiparvam, Sabhaparvam, Vanaparvam, Udyogaparvam, Virataparvam, Udyogaparvam, like that we are having. The first 5 are what we can call, it is Adi Panchakam we call. Adi Panchakam. Adi Panchakam means first 5 books are what we can call Adi Panchakam. In the Adi Panchakam, what is being narrated is that the story of the lineage of Kuruvamsha, how Kuruvamsha started. And then from Yayati onwards, the entire story starts. And then it is actually, it will be discussing how the children Pandavas and Kauravas grew into elder people, and then they got Rajyam, that is called kingdom. They got how the disputes developed between those persons. This is all these things, and subsequently how the guy it went up to the game of dice, and all these things is discussed in the first 5 books of Mahabharata. First 5 Mahabharata is Adi Parvam, Sabha Parvam, Aranya Parvam, Vana Parvam, then Virata Parvam and Udyoga Parvam. These are the 5. After that, we come across Yuddha Shatkam. Yuddha Shatkam is the actual war. Because of the enmity that has been created in the first 5 books, it has to end in there should be some culmination. The culmination is actually a bitter war took place between these two people, Kauravas and Pandavas. That has been described in Bhishma Parva, Drona Parva, Karna Parva, and then Shalya Parva, Sautika Parva, Stri Parva, like that. It is called, these are actually Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shalya. Then Stri Parva and Sautika Parva. Like that, it is called Yuddha Shatkam, what we can Yuddha Shatkam. This is another 6. Then we are having last 7. Last 7 actually, they are actually Sapta Shanti Parvas. Sapta Shanti Parvas are what we can call. I will just see the names of all these things. One is called Shanti Parvam, Ashwamedha Parvam, Ashwamasa Parvam, Mausala Parvam, Mahabharata Parvam, Swargarohana Parvam, like that it is said. So these are all actually 7 are there. So here what is discussed is that once the war is ended, Yudhishthira felt very bad. Particularly, he heard that Karna is his brother. He come to know that Karna was his own real brother only. At that point of time, he wanted to discard the entire kingdom. He wanted to go to Himalayas only again. At that time, he was persuaded by Vedavyasa, Krishna, and all other great sages like Narada. All these persons come there and persuaded him and prevail over him to rule over the entire Bharat. And then he again assumed the office of the Chakravarti, and he resumed the office. This is entire thing has been discussed in these 7 books. In these 7 books, particularly Anushasanika Parva is very famous because it is discussing about Rajaniti. It will be discussing Shanti Parva will be discussing Rajaniti. It will be discussing, and there is actually the how people have to live in the older age, and all these things are discussed in an elaborate fashion. It is discussed a lot of what is called what ought to be done, what are not to be done for different ashrama people, what different varna people, and all these things is also discussed over this place. And this is the structure of Mahabharata. Over and above Mahabharata, why it has got so much of prominence is that it is consisting of a lot of dharmic dictums it is having. One more thing is that it is having very important books. What normally the Vedic religious people call it as, it is actually the greatest thing that we can see. That is called Bhagavad Gita is there in Mahabharata only. Sanasujatiyam is there in Mahabharata only, and Vishnu Sahasranama is also there in Mahabharata. And you believe it or not, for all these 3 things, the Shankaracharya, he has given interpretation for all these things. Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashyam he has written, Sanasujatiyam Bhashyam also he has written, and also Bhagavad Gita also he has written Bhashyam. He has written Bhashyam means the importance of that particular, those things. Those are there, they are there. All these things are very much important, very much prominent for all the people. Vishnu Sahasranama is known to many people, and they will be reciting the Vishnu Sahasranama. And everybody knows that Gita is the greatest book. Few people will be reading it, of course, that is a different issue. And some people may not be reading the what is called Bhagavad Gita, that is also there. So these are all the things, these things are there. Then why we read all these things is also there, please. Well, these are all the things are actually very important things. People normally cherish that this is the culture that has been represented in Mahabharata. The civilized culture that is existing in some 5,000 years back, that has been embedded in Mahabharata. So that if you look back at Mahabharata, what we can say is that Mahabharata, why we should read Mahabharata after sitting here, that is also very important to understand. See, sitting here, listening to Mahabharata for 5 days, what is the purpose of listening, going back to 5,000 years? Why don't we read further? From now onwards, we can think of why we are going back. Means that is also there. The thing is that all our traditional values, systems, and also dharmic dictums, All these things are there in Mahabharata and Ramayana also, both places. Dharmic Mula, what we can call, our Dharmic Mulas, that is called the roots of our civilization, is there in Mahabharata only. Take it anything for that matter. See, even small traditions, I will be telling one thing. Normally, if we go to some big person's house, some traditions, similarly, Varnashramas, all these, one tradition, one or two examples I can give so that we can understand it in a better fashion. Normally, if we go to any person's house, a big person, any person of scholar person or any other person's house, if we go, what do we do? Will we go empty-handed? No. Normally, our culture is that we go with some fruits. We will take and go there and give him as a gift. Similarly, if you go to old people, what we do normally with old people, we go there and give some gift, some fruit or something like that. What they like, something we will go like that. We don't go in that fashion. So here there is one shloka is there. One shloka I will be telling the background also. Mahabharata, the bitter war was going on. When the war was going on, what happened? No, on one occasion, it is in Karnaparvam, Dronaparvam we come across. In Dronaparvam, this story goes. In Dronaparvam, the story is that that day, the Duryodhana, actually the war was going on in a better fashion. Duryodhana could not see the light through the tunnel. When we are going to defeat Pandavas, he could not understand. At the time, he invoked one Rakshasa. The Rakshasa's name is Alambasa. He called that Alambasa. Alambasa came to the field. Alambasa is one person very much devoted to Duryodhana. He came there, he fought on the side of Duryodhana. He was doing that magic war, Maya Yuddha, he was doing from the skies. At the time, this side, Pandavas were having Ghatotkacha. Both fought like that in the night. The night also, war went on. Normally, war should not go beyond sunset. After being sunset, war should stop. But it did not stop on that day because these both Rakshasas were fighting in the night also. So at the end, what happened now? Ghatotkacha could kill Alambasa. When he killed Alambasa, what he did now? He cut off the head of Alambasa, brought it, and Duryodhana was there. Then he came to Duryodhana and he told, Swadharmam artham kamancha tritayam yobhivanchati. Riktapanir napasyeta rajanam brahmanam striyam, like that it tells. What does it mean? Swadharmam arthancha kamancha tritayam yobhivanchanti. Though the person who wanted to have both dharma, artha, kama, all these things, the person who wants all these things, that is called Chaturveda Purusharthas, we call, no? Chaturveda Purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama. Moksha, of course, last one. All these things will be leading to the moksha. So, Swadharmam, Arthancha, Kamancha, Tritayam, Yobhivanchati. All these things, who is willing to have all these three things, that person, because the person means he is a person who is well versed in Shastras and all these things, a person of wise person, whose intellect is brightened by Shastras, Vijnana and all these things, who knows Shastras, that type of person normally will not go Rikta Padir Napasyeta Rajanam Brahmanam Sthyam, if he is going to the king or to a great Brahmin scholar or to any old lady, not old lady, any lady, if he goes there, Rikta Padir Napasyeta, with empty handed he will not go there. He will be going there and he will be giving some gift. Now I have come to you, Maharaja, you are a king. I have come to you and I should not come here with empty hand. That is why only I brought this Alambasa's head to you. This head you can take it like that. He gives the head and he will be telling, I will be going to the war again. And another few minutes I will be bringing the head of Karna also I will be bringing to you. Then please wait for that, like that. There also it is there. See here, the Mahabharata is a Kavya Lakshanam is also there here. But the thing is that the war is going on, and that war, when war is going on, these type of things are also there in Mahabharata. So he will be telling like that. So he comes there and then the timing is also very important. No, there also he will be telling some dharma, he will be telling. So Rikta Pandit Pasyeta. So we should not go with empty handed. So I have come here like that. The tradition is still there. We are having the same tradition, we are following like that. So similarly, we come across one thing. The thing is that 1 minute, the shutter I will put. Sun's rays are coming. 1 minute. Sun's rays are falling on the head. Okay, fine. Sorry. So here again, like that, the tradition is there. Similarly, and the Dasara Vijayadashimi day, what normally we do is that traditional people, they will be going to that Shemi Vrusha. They go there. They pray to the Shemi Vrusha. Some leaves of the Shemi Vrusha also they distribute among other persons. Shemi Shamayate Papam. Like that, they will be telling the shloka. They come back. The story goes back to Mahabharata. Why? Because all Pandavas have kept all their weapons. That is called Arjuna's Gandivam and all this is they kept there in that particular spot. And then they went to Agnatavasa, they went to Virata king. Semi Shamayate Papam. Semi Shaturvyasi, Arjuna said Dhanurdari, Ramasya Priyadarshini, like that even now also will be telling. So Arjuna said Dhanurdari, because the Shemi tree has held the weapon of what is called the bow of Arjuna. Because of that reason, even now also we go there, traditionally we pray there and come back. So many traditions of that nature we come across. Similarly, each and every many stories we come across a lot of traditions. We even now we are following. Same traditions were actually being there in Mahabharata. These traditions we are following even now also. So this is one thing. That is why only the dharmic roots are embedded in Mahabharata. Similarly, the much talked about subject, this caste system is there now. The caste system actually is something different from Varna system. But we don't understand because people will be even now also you will be equating Varna and caste, they will be equating it, and lot of criticism will be coming up in present day society. So, but there it is such a flexible nature that Mahabharata Vanaparva will come across a very beautiful shloka. Shudrayono hi jatasya sadgunanu pratishtitaha vaishyatvam labhate brahman kshetriyatvam tathaivacha arjave vartamanasya brahmanyam abhijayate, like that it is written down. Vanaparva it is there. Thing is that Shudrayono pi jatasya, even the person is born for a Shudra. If he is Sadgunanu Pratishtita, his gunas are very good, then Vaishyatvam labhate. He will be attaining Vaishyatvam. He will become a Vaishya. And then Kshatriyatvam Tathaivacha, he can become Kshatriya. And also Arjave Vartamanasya. Then he is going to have all these qualities of Brahmin if he is there. Then he will be getting Brahmanyam Abhijayate, like that. So he will be attaining Brahmanatvam also, he will be attaining like that. Here actually the Varna system, what is conceived in Mahabharata is something different. What is understood by us is something different. The thing is that there at that point of time, even Bhagavad Gita also, Chaturvarnyam Maya Sushtam Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. Like that Krishna will be telling. Guna and Karma are the criteria for deciding which person will be falling on which place. The gunas are actually, gunas are, what are three gunas we are having, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas. If a person is most dominated by Sattvic gunas, he is put in the fold of, he is a Brahmana, consider him as a Brahmana. And more of Rajoguna and less of Sattvika guna, put him in Kshatriya guna, Kshatriya's place, put him like that. A person is having lot of Tamo guna and little of Rajoguna is there and no Sattva guna, then put him in Shudra place, like that. That is called in a different way. Similarly, more of Rajoguna and less of Tamoguna, Vaishyas. Like that, it has been divided like that. Like what we can call, like present day office structure is there. If you take the office structure, what will be there? There will be a manager will be there. There will be software engineers will be there. And there will be some peons will be there. And there will be some marketing people will be there. So if you begin to consider all those things, how to put it, the manager who is feeding the entire organization and running the organization is considered him as a Kshatriya. The persons who will be doing the activities of what is called software and all these activities and designing the programs and all this is with the intellect they are working, they are called Brahmins, like that. And there is what we can call marketing people who go there and who are aggressively, they can sell the product, and all those persons are Vaishyas. And those who can't do all these things, who can't have the knowledge of all these things, and who can only do what we can call clerical, not even clerical work, those type of persons, say bringing coffee and all this is a Shudra, like that. It has been designed in that way in those days. So like that, the entire society structure was designed like that. You believe it or not, go back to Manusmriti. If you go back, we come across many references wherein each and every village there used to be a person, intelligent person used to be there. He used to decide the birth of a person. Everybody is considered as a Shudra only. Initially, everybody is a Shudra only. Up to 8 years, he will not be, up to 8 years, he will be watched by this person. The child will be watched by this intelligent person. Then he will be deciding whether this boy is falling under the category of a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, like that. Then he will be assigning it. Then according to that Varna, that the Chatur Varna system will be going on. If the Brahmana is there, whether he should go to Guru Ashrama or not, should not be gone, because he will be seeing the guna, whether he is Sattvic guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, or what type of activity is more involved. These type of things he will be doing like that. Manusmriti tells like that. So it is called Varna system. So Varna system is actually, it says that a person who is going to earn, or what we can call greater gunas, then he will be promoted. That is so flexible system was there in Mahabharata time. Mahabharata time, or prior to that also it was there. Ramayana time, Mahabharata time, the flexibility was there from moving from one system to other system, purely based on gunas and karma only, activity only, that was there. But what happened over a period of years, what happened is that is actually, this is a great subject which we begin to discuss, it ends up in nowhere. Thing is that it degenerated into what we can call a person born for a Brahmin is a Brahmin, a person born for a Kshatriya is a Kshatriya, like that it became. That was actually the greatest mistake that happened over a period of historical evolution of our society or culture, what we can call. But in originally what is conceived is that it is actually conceived in that fashion only. So we come across a similar type of stories, in particularly that Yaksha Prasnas are there. In the Yaksha Prasnas, Dharmaraja went there, and the Yaksha was asking the question. He will be asking a question, who is a Brahmin, like that. Then he gives some definition. This type of person is a Brahmin, having Sattva Guna and all these things. Then he asks, if a person born for a Shudra, if he is having these qualities, can you call him a Brahmin? Yes, he should be called as a Brahmin, he tells. Then he will also be asking, negative way also he will be asking. A person born for a Brahmin is only called caste, birth Brahmin only. If that person is not having all these qualities, and he is already having the qualities of Shudra, should you call him Shudra? Yes, he should be called as a Shudra only, like that Dharmaraja tells. Yaksha Prasthas we come across. This type of conversation we come across. So here thing is that those days they will be discussing in that aspect. That is also there in Mahabharata only, it is mentioned. So Mahabharata is mentioning Varnashrama system, it is mentioned. Chaturvanyam Maya Sushtam Gunakarma Vibhagashaha, like that Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned. Bhagavad Gita is very much there in Mahabharata. Shudra yono pijatasya Satgunanu Pratishtitaha Vaishyatvam Labhate Brahman Kshatriyatvam Tathaivasa, that is also mentioned in Mahabharata. So this type of flexibility is also mentioned in Mahabharata, which is actually sometimes we are distorting all these things. And of course, this is why we distorted and all these things. I am not the competent person to tell anyway. So these are the things, all these great discussions, because why we have to study means, even now also if somebody is going to tell that even your Shastras, Puranas and all these things are, I mean, a lot of discussion is there nowadays. The discussion is that Vedic, what is called, what is called Vedic culture, Sanatana Dharma has to be discarded like a mosquito or something of that nature. Somebody has commented recently. Thing is that this type of persons, if we want to answer, what we have to read Mahabharata only. If we read Mahabharata, we can understand. No, nowhere in Sanatana Dharma it is told that it is actually the people should be discarded in that fashion. People will be designed in that what is called a person born to a person is a Brahmin, Brahmin is a Brahmin, Kshatriya is a Kshatriya. It should not treat like that. Mahabharata has discussed something different. So Sanatana Dharma is no way connected with what we can call the development of what we can call caste system. Caste system is actually a social system that has developed over a period of time. If you want to tell that emphatically, you have to read Mahabharata, Ramayana. That is why only the importance of Mahabharata will be coming into the picture. That for that purpose only I have taken this much time to tell these facts. This is one aspect, please. Then we come across Rajaniti. Rajaniti is also very much there in Mahabharata. Rajaniti means particularly in Anushashanika Parvam and Shanti Parvam. We come across a lot of Rajaniti. We come across Rajaniti, how a king has to behave like that. And there is one big sloka, one good, very good sloka is there. It is there in Adi Parva itself. We come across that is called Arakshitaram Rajanam Balishad Bhagaharinam Tamahu Sarvalokasya Samagram Papacharinam. Like that, it will be. They will be telling. Thing is that here Arakshitaram Rajanam Balishad Bhagaharinam. Balishad Bhaga. And those days, 1/6 of the what is the taxes? 1/6 of the what is called yield of the farmer will be taken over by your king for the purpose of maintaining of the kingdom, for maintenance of, for protecting the people. He used to take out 1/6 as a tax. Tax was 1/6. This is actually ordained by Sanatana Dharma. In many places also we come across this 1/6 only, yield only we come across in Dharma Shastra and all other places also. We come across this 1/6 only. So subsequently, when Europeans came, you come across Zamindari system, and there's what is called Raitwari system, and all those places we come across, it went up to 50%, and also it went up to 70% in Britishers came to India. So that also we come across in Indian history, we come across all those things. Anyway, those things we are not concerned. Here at Arakshitaram Rajanam Barishad Bhagaharinam, the person who has taken 1/6 as a tax, and then he is Arakshitaram. He is not protecting the people. Then what will happen is that Tamahu Sarvalokasya Samagram Papacharinam, all the sins of all the people will be going to that person only. Like that it is mentioned. The king only has to bear all the sin, papam. It will be going to the king only. The duty of the king is only to protect and not go beyond it. That is there. So it is mentioned like that. So in many places, the king's duties, king's role, how the king has to behave, and all these things is discussed in Mahabharata. We come across. So this is what we can call Rajaniti is there. Dharma Sushmas are also, many Dharma Sushmas are also there in Mahabharata. Dharma Sushmas means what is Dharma Sushmas? Sometimes there are apparently two conflicting dharmas we come across. So which dharma has to be followed? So that is also, it is discussed. Practical aspect only Mahabharata will be talking, because Mahabharata is a book which tells very practical Laukika aspects, Laukika aspect only, how to behave in that particular situation. I will be telling one a small episode which we come across in Mahabharata only. The story goes like this. The story is that there was a Muni. The Muni was in the habit of practicing Satyavrata. He was practicing Satyavrata. Always he was telling the truth only. He has taken an oath that I will be telling only Satyam. Beyond that, I will not tell anything. That was his practice. So what happened is that he was meditating on one occasion. People across the village and the entire village, nearby villages also know that the person tells only truth and nothing other than truth. People know. On one occasion, it so happened that there are some thieves trying to catch hold of some villagers who were going in the forest. The villagers were holding a lot of jewelry, articles, and all these things they were holding. They were going for a marriage procession. These thieves came running over them. When the thieves came running over them, these people began running, and ultimately they reached the spot of this rishi who was doing meditation. They went inside. And they hid different other places. The rishi opened his eyes and he saw all those persons coming there, and they were hiding there. When they were hiding there, and he saw them, by that time another 5 minutes, maybe all these thieves also came there and started asking the rishi, "Oh rishi, you are the person known for dharma. You are known for truth. Satya only you will be telling. Asatyam you will never tell. We also know it. Have you seen any person coming here and hiding any place?" They asked. Then he has to tell the truth, because he has taken a vow. Because he has taken a vow, what he told is that, yes, I have seen some persons. Where are they? They asked. They are there, hiding there. Then immediately they came there, got hold of those persons, snatched away all their items, and killed some people also, and they went out. The himsa has happened here. The himsa has happened. At the same time, he has holding his vow, the truth he has been following. When he is following the truth, he thought that he contemplated over the entire action. He thought that he is correct only. Because I have taken a vow that I should not tell untruth at any point of time, and I told the truth. Because I am not a sinful person. He thought like that. So when ultimately when he died, then he has to be punished by Yamadharmaraja. Then Yamadharmaraja put him in the hell only. Then he was arguing, I was telling the truth only. Satyam Vada is being told by Vedas, and I was following Satyam only. And then why are you putting me in the Yamaloka like that? Then he was telling that by virtue of the telling one untruth, you are responsible for the death of so many persons. The himsa has happened there. Any truth which is going to lead for himsa is not a truth, that is untruth only, like that he will be telling. The story, what do we come across from this story? The story is actually, it says that it's a beautiful story. It says that you are not supposed to tell, you can tell untruth also sometimes in order to save some people. That is the idea that is there. So that is called dharma sushmata. There are some people even now also we come across. I follow this dictum. That is why only I am doing this. You follow the dictum as long as the dictum is not going to do harm to some person. That is there. That is why only Mahabharata similar episodes we come across. I will be telling a popular episode. Mahabharata, Bhishma is there. Bhishma is known for what we can call a dharma embodied person. That person is fighting on whose behalf? He is fighting on the behalf of Duryodhana. He was fighting. Duryodhana is a person, Atatayina, like that Mahabharata they will be discussing. He is a person who has indulged in 6 types of crimes. He has actually put fire to the people. He has given what is called Visham to Bhima. That is called poison to Bhima. He has given. He tried to destroy the Lakshagruham. He tried to destroy. He actually snatched away the property of Pandavas. And he actually brought the wife of the Pandavas, and they tried to disrobe her in the open court. All these things he has done. On his behalf, Bhishma was fighting. And how far it is correct? Bhishma was believing only one thing, that I am following the dharma only, because he has given a promise to his father that I will be loyal to the kingdom and I will not hold any kingdom. I don't want any kingdom or anything. I don't want. He has given a promise that is called Bhishma Pratigna. He has done before his father, and then he renounced his kingdom and gave to these people, and I will be protecting this kingdom, like that. He is protecting the kingdom. That he thought that it is the correct one, correct decision. But many bad things are happening. He was a witness for all these things, and he never acted. But you believe it or not, the war is taking place. Bhishma was on one side, and the other side there is Krishna and Arjuna was there. Bitter fight was going on. When the fighting was going on, even Arjuna could not defeat Bhishma. Arjuna was a person who went to the Swarga for 5 years. He was there in heaven with the physical body. He was there in the court of the Indra, and he got different types of astras. He got from different gods. He also got Ashupata Astra from Shiva. That type of person could not defeat Bhishma. Bhishma is people say that he is around more than 600 years at that time, according to many estimates. That person, Arjuna, was around 80 years, 70, 75 years, 80 years, this person. The fighting was going on. This young person could not defeat the old person. And at that particular stage, Bhishma was beginning to put arrows in such a fashion that they started piercing the body of Arjuna and also piercing the body of Krishna also. At that stage, Krishna got wild. And he ran away from he came out from the chariot, and he took the wheel and he told that I will be killing this person. Then what is the pratigna that Krishna has taken earlier? Krishna has taken a vow. That is called when both Duryodhana and also Arjuna come there for the help of Krishna for the sake of armies. At that time, he divided the entire Yadava Sainyas in such a way that entire Yadava soldiers are on one side and I am on one side. Choose. Then Arjuna has chosen Krishna, and Duryodhana wisely he has thought that he is correct only. He has chosen all the warriors. He has chosen. At that point of time, Krishna tells, "I will be only coming there and only be giving you advices only. I will never take up any astra." He has taken a vow. He has taken the vow. Now Krishna has come here. Krishna has come here. He has disowned his vow. Whatever he has taken, oath he has taken. The oath is that he will not be holding any what is called weapon. He will not use any weapon. He will not fight also. Now he has taken the weapon. He wanted to fight with Bhishma and he wanted to kill Bhishma also. So why he has done like that? in order to make Bhishma understand that no, what you are telling, that what you are believing that it is dharma, it is not dharma. Dharma has to be seen in the wider perspective only, how to see the dharma. So here, why I am coming here? Bhishma also knows that Krishna will never be hold any weapon and he will never fight. But he is coming for and fighting. Why he is coming and fighting? Because there are two reasons are there. Bhishma has taken Bhishma. He wanted to tell Bhishma that whatever woe you are taken earlier, that is also subsistent. That should be in tune with what is the entire dharma that is there. The broader aspect of dharma you have to take. Whom on whose behalf you are fighting? You are fighting on the behalf of Duryodhana, who has done all bad activities. Are you promoting that person? Or do you want to promote dharma? You want to promote that? That he wanted to tell him by way of the example only. Like that, when he comes like that, what happens is that Bhishma on that day he realizes. He realizes that whatever I am doing all these days is wrong only. Because I am seeing all these bad things that are being done by Duryodhana. I have seen all these things. But still I have not acted because I was thinking that I am correct. But now the real dharma has dawned to me. What is dharma sushmata has come out now. He understood that. On the day only, the Dharmaraja meets him in the night, and then he was asking how he is going to be defeated. He reveals what we can call that the way he is going to be defeated and all these things. Of course, the rest of the story everybody knows. Now, this is how normally what we come across is that this type of stories, Mahabharata, we come across a lot of stories of this nature we come across. From all these stories, we will be coming across dharma sushmata we come across. What is important to be followed at that particular point of time? There appears to be adharma sometimes. That adharma is okay as long as that is for the sake of the society again. For the sake of the society, for the larger good of the people, loka sangraha, if you are doing all this activity, is fine only. Devadanava yuddham is there. Devadanava yuddham also it is there. That is also there in Mahabharata. Maybe in some of the previous classes I discussed the entire aspect. Now today I may not touch that one. So that is why the small story I will be telling. Devas are fighting on one side and the Devas are churning the ocean on one side and Asuras are fighting on the other side. Devasura Matana, that is Matana took place. When the entire Matana took place, Samudra Matana took place, the poison came out and the entire story we know it. Ultimately, the nectar came out, Amruta has come out. The Amruta is taken by the Devatas only. It was not given to Asuras. Is it correct? Apparently, we feel that maybe people feel that the people are Asuras are actually they did not get their due because they also came there. They are also holding the what is called the head portion of the Sarpa, Vasuki they were holding, and the tail portion was holding by these persons they were holding, and they were churning the entire ocean. When the entire ocean was churned for so many number of years, ultimately the nectar came. When the nectar came, the nectar was taken by the Devatas only. Asuras were not given anything, or Asuras were actually deceived. They are actually deceived. Okay, Vishnu has deceived them. And that is how we normally understand. But here, this is actually a symbolic story that has to be understood in a different fashion. What has to be understood is that who are Devas and who was Rakshasa. That is very, very important discussion. Here, this even story also, if you take into consideration, once the nectar emerges, what will happen now? Rakshasa goes there, steal the pot, took it a long destination, they went there, and they were fighting among themselves who has to take what, who has to take first. Among the Asuras only they were fighting. That was the tendency. They did not keep the vessel there only. They keep the vessel there only. What will happen? Dhanvantari came out and he brought the Amruta Bhanda he brought. When he brought the Amruta Bhanda has to be distributed to different people. He will be distributing to everybody. But they did not allow. They snatched away the entire Bhanda, Amruta Bhanda, and took it to some distant place, and they were actually nobody could enter there. That entire it is cordoned off, and they were actually trying to take off the entire nectar, and again among themselves they were fighting. That is the attitude of what is Asura Pravrutti people. Asura Pravrutti people will not hold for dharma, so they came like that. Then at the time Vishnu appeared in the form of a Jagan Mohini and he came there, he enchants them, and then what he does? He actually he wanted to distribute entire thing. At that particular stage, he distributed to Devatas and he did not distribute. Rakshasa, Asuras, he did not distribute. Asuras, who are Asuras? Because they are described as Asura. The definition of Asura is Asushu Ramante iti Asuraha, like that people tell. Asushu means they will be those who indulge in sensual pleasures are Asuras. That way we have to understand. It is not actually a person who is coming there and doing like that. Asushu Ramante, these are the persons, Asuras. Who are Devas? Shastrodbhasita Chitta Vruttayaha Devaha, like that it is definition is there. The persons whose intellect is actually immersed in Shastra Gnana, those type of persons are Devas. So Devas are there and Asuras are there. Both persons are there in the mind of the person. In the mind of the person, good thoughts also will be emerging and bad thoughts also will be emerging all the time. Good thoughts represent Devas and bad thoughts represent Asuras. And if you give prominence to Asuras and give nectar to the Asuras, what will happen? Your mind will be polluted only. So what we have to do this Asuras, we should not give any nectar to those persons. We have to give the nectar only to the Devas only, because Devas are Shastrodbhasita Chitra Uttayaha Devaha. Asushu Ramante itu Asuraha. That is why this type of persons we should not give prominence. Here also same thing happened. Vishnu is the person who come there, and what he did was that he distributed the nectar, because earlier we have seen it. This person has behaved, these people have behaved like that. They snatched away the nectar, took it away to some other place instead of waiting for the nectar to be distributed by Dhanvantari. They went out some other place. At the stage, it is necessary that those persons should not be given. If the same thing is given to them, what will happen to the entire lokas? That is also important. What they are going to do the lokas, that is also important. Now, how they are going to punish the entire lokas, that we have to take into consideration. If we take all those in the total or aspect, total or picture spectrum, if you take into consideration, how dharma has to be defined is more important. So in that way, what we can call is that this is called dharma sushmata. So that is why nectar was distributed to this person, and the nectar was not distributed to the what is called Asuras. It was not distributed. This story we come across in Mahabharata. Similar type of stories we come across, number of stories we come across, more than 1,000 stories, Upakhyanas we are having. All these Upakhyanas are added to Mahabharata here and there in order to make people understand what is there in Vedas. But don't follow Vedas alone, because sometimes what will happen in Vedas you don't understand. That is why only Krishna will be telling Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Like that, sometimes you have to go beyond Vedas also, because that is also it is told. Because Veda dictum, it is difficult to understand. Just because something is told, you hold it alone, you may be wrong sometimes. What is more important is that you need to see the different other aspects also. You have to see practically, pragmatically, you have to work out, and then you have to behave. That is only morals, ethics we will be calling. No, morals are something and ethics is something different, like that we'll be discussing. What are morals? Morals are something which change from time to time, place to place, and person to person, they will be changing. But ethics is what we can call a rationalization of these morals and putting some rationality over morals, and whether it can be applied here or not, depending upon the present circumstances, whether it is applicable or not, and all these things we have to see, and then we have to apply. Then only what we can call it ethics is evolved. That is, ethics is something of that nature. Similarly, Dharma Shastras also same thing. Dharma Shastras, we need not hold whatever shlokas that are there entire in Manusmriti that is there. What we have important is that depending upon the situation, circumstances, desha kala paristhiti. That is why only Yuga Dharmas are there in Mahabharata. They are there. They will be discussing whatever that is earlier Yugas are there. Don't follow all those things. Now Yuga Dharmas are there. You follow Yuga Dharmas. According to Kali Yuga, you have to follow these Dharmas. They will be telling. They will be amending all these things, like Indian Constitution being amended so many times, like that it is also being amended in many times. Amendment means Dharma Shastras. Same Dharma Sutra, which is something is there in some text in the old textbook. Everything is not valid. Everything is not valid means it is valid only at that point of time, it is valid, but over a period of years, because of the changing circumstances, situation and all this is, you have to follow because of this reason only. This is practically possible. This is only you have to follow. That is why only Manu Dharma Shastra is prescribed for Kruta Yuga. Kali Yuga it is prescribed for, Asara Smriti is prescribed for now for us. Like that, people they even then also, then itself, rishis are having that much wise knowledge that they thought the dharma is something which will be ever changing. It will be ever changing. Ever changing at the same time, it will be permanent also. Sanatana Dharma is what we can call, sometimes we discuss it as eternal impermanence. We discuss it like that. Eternal impermanence means it is eternal, eternality is always there. That impermanence is also there. For example, I go to Ganges, take bath in Ganga river, come back, and I will be telling that I have taken bath in Ganga. Okay, after 5 years I will be going there again. Again, I can say that here only I have taken bath. No, it's not like that. The water has flown, much water has changed, new water has come. So what I am doing there is that eternality of Ganga is there, but the water is changed, impermanence is there. It is going on like that. So like that eternal impermanence, that is what is called Sanatana Dharma. Eternality, there are certain truths are there. So those truths are always abiding only. Those truths we should not disturb. That is always there. Those are taking care of parents, or telling truth, and all these things are following honesty, integrity, and all these things are what we can call Sanatana Dharma principles. But here and there, what we can call, depending on the situations or circumstances, the practicality and all this is, the way we are following is being changed. That is called, what is called, ethically we have to evolve, rationality we have to apply, depending upon the present situation and all this is. And then ultimately we have to reach the same goals only we have to reach. It is called eternal impermanence. All these things are embedded in Mahabharata. We come across over a period of time. Another 4 classes are there. In the 4 classes, I may be discussing certain aspects only, because Mahabharata is a very big grantha. The big grantha, it cannot be described, and even reading, comprehending it itself is also a very difficult task. And even if you read, comprehend, also thing is that, suppose I have read twice or thrice Mahabharata, still whenever I read it again, I will be finding a new thing only, I will be finding again and again. That is there, that will be there for each and every person we come across similar type of situation. And there, because we are actually given lot of inputs of Mahabharata by TVs and other serials and all these things, what will happen sometimes, our brain is also get distorted, which is a correct story, which is not the correct story. For that we need to see the original Mula Mahabharata only we have to see. And then before winding up, I will be telling one more 2 aspects on the I will be telling, and then it was 8, already it is crossed 8. Thing is that here, then I was telling in the beginning of the class that Veda Vyasa took 3 years to complete the entire Mahabharata, Veda Vyasa and Ganapati, Ganesha. And that the entire, that book is so big that it is very difficult for any person to translate it into English language. Ganguly is one person is there. Even now also the person is, the book is available, Ganguly. He is from West Bengal. That person, he took a lot of pains. He took a lot of pains. And it took almost 80, I think it in 1883 to 1896, almost 13 years, he took pains to translate the entire Mahabharata as it is from Mahabharata, from that place to English. He has translated it. That is available in the net also, it is available. Ganguly translation. Kesari Mohan Ganguly, like that. If you type Kesari Mohan Ganguly, if you type it, we come across. He has translated it. And recently, maybe some 5-6 years back only, Vivek Debra is, that person has also translated unabridged English translation. He has done it for the entire Mahabharata. He has done it. That is also available. And these are the, because if we want to refer the books, which is the right book, means these are right books. And then we also come across Bhandarkar Institute of Pune, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. Pune it is there, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute. And they have actually taken pains between 1919 to 1966, taken into consideration. How many years? Almost 47 years they took to compile the manuscripts of different places of Mahabharata. Different places, different manuscripts are there at the time. By 20th century, they took out all the manuscripts, try to take out which is the correct one, which is not the correct one. Lot of good scholars, good number of scholars sit over all those things. They verified different manuscripts, and each manuscript has to tally, because maybe some patantaras may be there here and there, but the overall text should not get deviated. Unnecessary story should not come into the picture. Like that, they studied the entire all the manuscripts, put all the manuscripts in one place, and started doing this activity for over a period of 47. And they come out with a critical edition of Mahabharata. Running to roughly some 13,000 pages. It is there. 13,000 pages book is it is there. It is coming into 19 volumes. It is there. 47 years they took. Like that, that book is also, that book is nowadays considered as a greatest reference book of Mahabharata. Any scholar who wants to quote it, they will be quoting this, what is called Pune edition. Easily they will be telling that Pune edition of Mahabharata. And recently, not recently, but some 10 years back, Gita Press people, 10 or 15 years, I don't exactly remember, maybe around 10 years back, Gita Press people have come out one edition. That is also a great authentic edition. Gita Press edition and this Pune edition are the reliable editions over which you can see that Mahabharata stories, whatever Mahabharata, if we want to read, these are the things which we can quote also here and there. Whenever you want to quote, these are the things you can quote. These are the books, please. And of course, regional literature, many regional literature is there. Many persons have translated Mahabharata into different languages. All the language books, even other countries also, they have translated in Mahabharata. This is how Mahabharata, even now also it is available. People who want to read, those type of persons can rely on these books, please. This is the brief introduction of Mahabharata. And then tomorrow onwards, we'll be going to some individual aspects, maybe dharmic aspects, Rajniti aspects, like that. We discuss something of that nature. Today, I will wind up my discussion, and it is open for questions and other things, please.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Today we have already overshot the time. What we do is that if anybody wants to interact urgently, immediately, you can raise your hand. I will unmute everybody. You can, okay, I have unmuted. You can open up and speak if you want. Otherwise, keep your questions. Tomorrow we will have a session at the end of the lecture. Okay, Subramanian garu. Unmute చేసుకోండి. Unmute చేసుకుని.
Yeah. Namaste Mahodaya. This is Subramaniam here. Very small and brief question here. Mahabharata has taken place for 18 days. In the present, referring to the present context, there are so many wars also going on now. In every war, example, the war what we take of Ukraine and Russia, they say totally they have fought for almost 6 to 8 months and only some 15,000, 20,000 people died. How come in Mahabharata in 18 days, 36 lakhs people died? What was the specialty there? What was the special astras used there? And how could a large number of 36 lakhs people died?
So it is not actually 36 lakhs, beyond that, more than that actually. More than that actually, it is running to crores according to Mahabharata. There are two places in Dharma. At the end of the war, somebody was asking Dharmaraja how many people have died like that. He will be telling in crores only, he will be telling. That estimate some 32 crores, something of that nature it will be coming, sir, because it actually, it is maybe a judge Arthavada, what we can call sometimes. Anyway, there is as you told, 36 lakhs definitely have died. But here the question is that in the Ukraine war, whatever war now we are fighting, these wars actually, we are having certain limitations also. In the international law we are working, in the international law we are working, and we are not supposed to destroy common people, and all these things are there. And the wars are being waged not on the particular spots are there. It is a Kurukshetra, one spot is there, all the people assembled there. When all the people assembled there, it is only those persons they can concentrate. Here, this is no assembly of people are not there. People are there, some people are there, and the Navy, some people are there, aeroplanes, some people are there, some other place, some other people are there, and they are fighting in different directions. They are doing like that. And only thing is that they are facing to face, only few people are there. And again, they are putting some trenches and all these things in some places. They are hiding in some other places. And war is being fought in that fashion. Guerrilla war or something of that nature, it is going on. Here, the enemy is not to be seen also sometimes. They suspect that robotics and all these things they will be seeing, and they will be doing this activity. Recently we saw Israel people were doing war. No, the robots they are finding out the trenches of those persons and they are trying to fight those persons like that. So it is in that way people are getting died. And one more thing is that there is some normally if they begin to drop great nuclear arsenal and all these things, there will be widespread things will be happening across the world because you are destroying the common people. This type of criticism also they will be coming across. They have to ward off all those criticisms. So normally they want to avoid it. Here Kurukshetra, it is not like that. All people came there. 11 Achohinis are this side, 7 Achohinis on the other side were there, and they were there. And they are one is a particular spot happened like that. Like Babar came to Panipat, no, at that time 20,000 soldiers were there here for Babar, and here 1 lakh soldiers were there for Ibrahim Lodi. Both persons came together at one spot. All 1 lakh people, more than 80,000 people were killed on that day.
Yes, yes.
That is it. That is called strategic war. One single spot. Panipat. Here it is the same thing, sir. That is what I feel.
Nowadays only Adharma war is going on.
Huh?
It is not Dharma war, it is Adharma war only.
Where?
Now, nowadays, what is going on?
Yes, sir. Maybe that I don't comment, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Andy. Dhanyavadamuలు.
Yes, sir.
Actually, some people are putting a message that they want to leave. What we do is that we will take up the remaining questions tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And if we can give 10-15 minutes for question answer session.
Fine, sir.
At the end of the lecture.
Yes, sir. The lecture is up to 7:50 or 8, sir?
Total up to 8. You may leave around 20 minutes to 25 minutes for question answers. That is 7:35.
Yes. No, sir. Now it is 8:11 only. Now 8 o'clock lecture is going on. Means another 20 minutes, 8:20 it should go, no? Normally.
No, actually it is 1.5 hours, right from 6:30 to 8.
Fine. Total everything should be before 8 o'clock.
Yes,
Then
sir.
I should stop by 7:50 at least. 7:45 I should stop, no?
No, 7:45 or little less than before.
Oh, I was thinking that I have to extend up to 8 o'clock. That is why only I was extending the class.
I will.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Maybe I understood like that. I thought that it was up to 8 o'clock my lecture and then questions I thought. Fine, sir. No problem. Tomorrow at 7:45 I will close. Okay.
Yeah, these questions we will take tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Okay. Thank you so much. Then we will go for Prarthana and Janaganamana. Hemlataji.
Yes, sir. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सदनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదములండి. Now let us chant. Let us recite on the Janaganamana, please.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे, जय हिंद
जय हिंद.
जय हिंद.
ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టుబాబు గారు.